What's good? This is USourceMedia. I'm your host with the most, RaQuest from Get Em Entertainment. And today we got a special guest for you. You know what I mean? The man goes by all different names. From Fela B all the way to Flexi D. You know what I mean? We got a special guest for you, one of the legends of hip-hop out here in Australia. Meet the man, Fela B. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Blessed.
Good to see you, my man.
All right. Yeah,
my man.
You. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, brother, anytime. You know, it's not a problem at all. So my first question to you is, I know you've been doing it out here for a while. You know, just tell me and tell the guests over here, how did it all begin?
Back in 1981, I was watching my cousins come home, and they were breakdancing and that. And, you know, like my mom and my parents into reggae, funk, soul. You know what I mean? They were listening to Grandmaster Flash, Curtis Blow, The Breaks, you know. Yeah, they were breakdancing, so I really got into it. I was 11 years old. So I started popping and locking. You know, I've still got it today.
Still putting in work?
Yes, sir.
For real?
So I started going to the city square and, you know, started hanging out with a lot of cats downtown and meeting up with new friends that were doing the same thing that I was doing, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
And it was great. And what I love about hip-hop is, you know, the people of color in Australia, like, number one, give respect to the Aboriginal people of the land that we're standing here. 40,000 years of history. And right now, we will never forget what's going on and where we are in this sacred land. But yeah, people of color were looking up to the African-American brothers in New York and the states like that. So, you know, we had, you know, there was not many people of color leaders down there. Eddie Mabo, rest in peace, rest in power. So a lot of people of color were looking up to the African-American culture in the States, you know, and that was hip-hop, MCing, breakdancing. Hip-hop came with, you know, 5 elements: breakdancing, graffitiing, MCing, DJing. It was a beatbox? Or
beatboxing,
yeah. And knowledge. Let's call it 6. And so we started following that culture. You know what I mean? We didn't want to get into the parents of reggae and the funk and that, even though we respect much of the stuff comes from James Brown, you know, and all the breaks and stuff like that. Cochlear rock, Peace Up. So yeah, we started doing hip hop. You know what I mean?
So your first little hero of hip hop. It was the first song you heard. Where were you at the first time you heard?
I was in East St Kilda.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What was going down?
And in East, not much, unless you went to the city and met up with certain people. There was the first record station was Central Station Records.
I remember that.
Yes. So everyone used to meet around the city square. And the beauty about hip hop, you know how religion can be such a division. Hip hop brought all backgrounds together. So you had not only me, you had people from South Africa, Mauritius, India, you know what I mean, the West Indies, Greek, Italian, all types of background, you know, white people, Asian.
So that comes down to my second question.
Yeah.
It's like, tell us a bit more about the scene when you were coming up.
Okay, then I got more advanced in my popping and locking. Then I got into the first hip-hop movie that ever came out was Wild Style.
Wild Style.
Yes, and in Wild Style, I just fell in love with graffiti.
That was it got you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I joined up with Grand Sorcerer 38, Astrogazer 27, a few other B-boys, and Mr. Bojangles.
Yep.
And we started up a crew called Future 4. We were the first graffiti crew, aerosol artist crew.
Okay.
First. We used to, in the late 70s, I used to see other people tag up Tubby and Raffles, but they weren't really graffiti style. They were just like graffiti, just a normal tag. So we were the first graffiti artists. So what we did, we took on graffiti to the next level. We were like, man, there's no trains done, not even a half or full car. So we were the first brothers to cross that fence in Jollymont Yard, Richmond Station, and to do a graffiti train, half car.
We'll definitely get back to that section there. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of questions I got to ask you about the graffiti thing. But how long you been in the game out here in Australia?
Yes, since 81.
81?
81. I was 11 years old. I am now 52 years old.
Wow, that's been a hot minute, brother. So you been in the hip hop for many moons.
That's right, yeah.
That's what's up, man. Praise to you, man, for real.
Thank you.
We need more b-boys like you out here in Australia doing it and representing the culture.
Yep. Well, you can check out the book King's Way. It's sold out right now. You'd be lucky to get a second-hand copy. But that book will explain all the artists, not only me. I wasn't the only one, too. There was more cats after me.
And that was my question right
there. We
there.
were the first.
Tell us a little bit about your graffiti and breakdancing.
Okay, so Future 4 was a dope-ass graffiti crew, aerosol art. And we used to hang out at Windsor Station. There used to be an old hotel there called Hollywood. And it burnt down. So we used that place as our meeting place where we can start breakdancing and continue our graffiti all around Melbourne. So that was in the year between 83 and 86. In 86, I moved to Endeavour Hills and I started hanging out with 3174 and Hills Posse, FMC, Fresh Mess Crew.
Yeah.
Peace up to Ex Capone.
Okay, yeah, because I did hear that, to my knowledge about you, and I could be wrong, but you got to clarify. You were the first black man in Australia to bomb a train out here.
That's right. Yes, a half car, Future 4, and that
my
train,
man. That's what's up. Give you props, man. For real.
Can you believe they put that train in the Werribee Museum, and they kept the graffiti on it? Oh,
so the first brother down under,
yes, to do a half
that bombed the train.
Yes, and you will see it in that book, King's Way.
King's Way.
Yeah.
So all of y'all out there, y'all better get that book, King's Way. You'll find out about Fela B. 100. Man, that's crazy, man. So you've been doing a lot of stuff, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And a little bit about the breakdancing. How did that come about?
Oh, the breakdancing, watching movies like Beat Street, Breakdance, Turbo.
Yep.
And many other documentaries around that. And just inventing my own styles and skills. Back in the day, everyone had their own kind of different, when you went to a club, everyone was dressed different.
Everybody had their own lane. Some like this, some like that. Yeah,
that's right. So, you know, everyone had their own moves and shit.
Fool, you still got it, bro. For real.
You know, everyone had their own breakdancing moves. Everyone had their own styles in graffiti.
Yeah.
Everyone had their own styles in MCing. You didn't sound like Big Daddy Kane or the next rapper. You had your own style. So it was very diverse, and it was such a great. It was a great movement that came from America.
That's what's up. That's what's
you know what I mean? And as we saw in the States, how it started off, even before the Temptations and stuff like that, soul music, and a little reggae influence too. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it just advanced into a multi-million-dollar business as it is today. Now we've seen things come and go. In the 90s, we had New Jack Swing that came and went. You know, things like today. Everything advances. Everything is knowledge. And whatever it is, black people always do it better.
My brother, you definitely representing for Australia down under right here.
For the Aboriginal black people worldwide, you know what I mean? The Aboriginal people are not only here, which are one of the oldest tribes in the world, but they are worldwide, to the Americas.
100.
You know what I mean?
So tell us a little bit about your beats, your productions, and I'm hearing you got a radio show, a podcast. I'm not sure if it's a podcast or a radio show that plays out of New York City. So tell us, let's start off on your productions, you rapping, because I know you do rap. You know what I mean? I know you, I've heard you, and you were sick, off the chain, you're dope. So tell us just a little bit about your productions, your radio show, and about you repping.
Respect, my brother. When I'm feeling the beat, I'm always feeling unique. I'm with RaQuest, and we coming off the street. Check it out. Get Em Entertainment. We're not faking. We're down for the positive stuff. We're not slaying.
Boom.
We're coming with positive attitudes. Respect your mother. Respect your brother, dude. Respect everyone around you. It's all about your health. I'm coming like you, hardcore.
How long
like
you been
Bible
making beats
on
for?
The shelf.
100.
Shalom.
That's what's up. How long you been making beats for now?
I've been making beats since 1999. I started on Sony PlayStation, a little beat maker. From there, I started with Fruity Loops in the year 2000.
Started on Sony PlayStation?
Yeah.
Just playing around?
Just playing around. But that was a good stepping stone. That helped you build the elements into the real programs like Reason and Fruity Loops and stuff like that. So I started making beats in 2001 on Fruity Loops. And I'm still making beats today. I'm a bit of a beat junkie.
That's what's up.
I see it as a hobby in that. And more than a hobby, I see it as an art. A talent, And I started hosting TV. We were the first brother on Channel 31 in 1999, 2000, called Flipside TV.
No
Me,
doubt.
Mike Justice, and Pablo. And
What about your radio podcast that you got
the
going
radio
on?
podcast? I started that in 2019.
Yep.
I was staying in the Bronx, and I'm connected with a lot of pioneers in hip hop. The starters, the creators, the Melly Mels, the Curtis Blows, the Cool Mo D's,
That's what's
Special K Peace. I'm connected with all these brothers, so I'm starting to work with these brothers, and it took, it takes time to
And
build.
I'm hearing you got your own radio.
Yes, well, I started with T-Ski Valley, Catch a Beat, Grand Groove Unlimited Radio, and it's going good in the Bronx.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So I host and I interview artists, hip hop artists, and we play their music. That's about it.
doubt,
So,
no
and we
doubt.
play the dope hip hop, the real hip hop.
A lot of interesting stuff you've done, man. You know what I mean? You got history out here in Australia. It's crazy. So another question I got for you is, I want to know is who's the artist you work with out here in Australia?
Yeah, well, I started with a lot of artists. I started DJing in the R&B clubs as a funk DJ, Billboards, Casablanca.
What type of year was that?
That was like from 88 onwards till about 91. Then after that, I started working with Al Bear, was a jazz musician from Australia. I appeared on his album.
No doubt.
I did a verse with Wayne Fernandez, one of the first R&B hip-hop DJs in Melbourne, Respect.
Yeah, he was big, Wayne Fernandez. I remember that,
So
brother.
I was on an album with him. And after that, I met up with Mike Justice and Pab in 95. And we started doing hip-hop. I started running clubs, hip-hop clubs in 99. That's where I met you.
Yep,
Respect. Yeah.
Yeah, Pab and Mike Justice. Yes. I know Mike Justice. He another great MC.
That's
I
right,
mean,
yeah.
Pablo's another great MC, and does some great work with drawings and graffiti and all that type of stuff.
Great artist.
Yeah,
great
man.
producer.
So, and who else have you worked out here in Australia with?
Yeah, so many artists. Jeremy, Gemstone, Size, Rest in Power.
I think you had worked at one stage because I came down to the studios at one stage. I think I saw you with Black and the Berry, Beans.
Beans too, work with Beans, Respect. I've worked with so many artists.
Yeah, and back in the days, we worked together too.
That's right.
We've been in the studios and dropped a couple songs.
That's right, yeah.
Like this brother's all over the place, all over. He works with anybody that loves hip hop and that's about the culture and got good bars and lyrics. Fela B is right in there.
Did supporting act for Public Enemy.
That's what I was
for the
about to
jacket
get
right
to.
here.
Who have you worked with overseas? Great jacket. I'm loving it. Public Enemy.
Thank you,
Represent.
my brother.
That's what's up.
Respect. Thank you.
Overseas, who have you worked with, like in America or anybody overseas?
Okay, well, I started the Zulu Nation, Universal Zulu Nation, in 2008.
Wow.
Respect to King XL, joined the movement there. Then from there, started building with all the brothers. The Black Panthers, worked with them. Peace of the Black Spades, Chapter 17. Champ Love and Josie Wells. Peace to Justice. Peace to all the characters there, and all the beautiful people, and peace to all of them. So I started working with the brothers in New York and started building there.
Yep.
And from there, I joined Hip Step Massive, Grandmaster TC Islam, Rest in Power.
Yep.
That was a link with the roots of the drum and bass, house, hip hop, everything linked. And from there, I made my movement on with Grand Groove Unlimited Radio. And now I've started my own record label.
What's your record label called?
Electromagnetism.
I'm loving the name.
Thank you, my brother.
That's what's up. Loving the name.
And I'm working on a project right now with Cool Keith, Percy P, and
Cool
DJ.
Keith.
Yeah.
Yo, that's some legends in the game. Percy P.
Magnetics.
Wow.
Percy P,
Big legends in the game from New York.
DJ Rob Swift.
That's what's up. Oh, he's scratching on your thing.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you got that project coming. We'll definitely get back to that one there.
Definitely.
How about, tell us a little bit about Hip Step and the labels that you've supported.
That's my hat right here. Hip
So that's the Hip Step movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Hip Step.
Hip is the vibe, step is the movement.
Okay. Now, how this all come about, the Hip Step movement?
The hip step was like through the, it was, how could you say? You got a Ferrari and a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
In the Zulu Nation, we were the Lamborghini.
Okay.
We were like an extension, but going in its own movement.
Okay, so the Hip Step
Yeah.
is from New York. It's
That's
from the
right.
U.S.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
That's
movement
right.
started out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, all the way down under, you bought it out here.
That's right.
That's what's up, man.
And Connecticut.
Okay. Wow, and who are some of the leaders of the hip steps?
So that would be Grandmaster TC Islam. You got Donald D from the Bronx, Rhyme Syndicate.
Yep.
The ambassador of hip hop, Dynamax from
Yep.
Rhyme Syndicate Ice-T.
Wow, that's big.
He's our boss.
Yep.
Curtis Blow,
Curtis Blow.
Jamalski, Boogie Down Productions,
Damn.
D Street DXT.
Whoo, the list goes on.
Yeah, Boogie, we got KRS-One in my chapter, chapter
doubt.
6-1.
Yep.
I have a lot of cats that the list goes on.
That's
and
big,
I know
man.
you kind of kill it with time. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
So you've done it out here in Australia. You've done it out in the States. You know what I mean? So you're well known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the culture.
That's right.
But you know what, man? I'm smelling this coffee out here. This smells so good. We definitely got to get a glass
Ethiopian
of coffee.
coffee?
Yes, sir. It is the bomb. We're going to have
Best in
some
the
of
world,
that.
yeah.
And
Word,
get right
word,
back to you soon.
You know what I mean? Word, respect.
Yeah. That coffee's damn. It smells good, don't it?
Yes, sir.
It does. We give it a second before we grab that. That's hot. That's real hot. So but it smells good. So yeah, as we were talking before. Now, to my understandings, you've run some nightclubs, some nights out here in Melbourne. Was it only Melbourne or all over Australia? Just tell us a little bit about that.
I've run plenty of clubs here.
Yep.
R&B, hip hop, reggae.
How did it start off? And when did it start off?
Well, it all started with me DJing in the clubs, the R&B clubs in the late 80s and the 90s. And yeah, from there I thought, well, hey, why don't I start running my own club?
Yeah.
That way you can really play the jams that these other DJs ain't playing.
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest, Boogie Down Productions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I first came out of here from New York, I met you in Chapel Street running your own club.
Yeah, that's
how
right.
we met. And I jumped on the mic and, sprayed the mic a little something. And that's how we became friends back then. So so you ran a bunch of different clubs.
Had a few clubs going. And I ran a club with Beans too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, done a lot of work, man. Respect to Beans, man. Give a shout out to that brother.
Yeah, no
He-
doubt.
He really
No doubt.
looking out to the people, just like you, RaQuest.
That's what's up. That's
Respect,
what's up, man.
man. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So, okay, so you had a good run with the nightclubs and stuff
That's
like
right. Respect to my first DJ Breeze, was Australia's first hip hop DJ. Shout out DJ Breeze.
So, and what do you think the importance of embracing hip hop history is for all the young kids out there that don't know some of the old stars that started this and trended this movement? Tell us a little something about that. The importance of remembering hip hop history.
Well, it's a culture, It's not meant for you to go out there gang banging and doing wrong. You got to stay out of trouble. Hip hop gets you out of trouble. It's an art, and there's so many elements to it and so many ways. You could breakdance, you could stop breakdancing or getting into DJing.
Yeah.
You could stop emceeing and getting into art. You can do whatever you want. You know what I
You
mean?
can graffiti, you can scratch. There's a bunch of elements.
That's right. You can just continue your hip hop till you're an old man. I know I'll be rapping till I'm 80 years old. I got
that.
older cats than me that are rapping me down and telling me to still grow
that.
up. So I know there's people out there that are continuing doing what they're doing. Big shout out to DJ Kevy Kev Rockwell from Fantastic Five.
That's what's
that
up.
brother's way older than me, still doing shows,
Yep.
running around like he's 21. It's energy, showing positive energy. And
Yeah, hip hop's got no age.
yeah, it's community, getting a community together. Stop hating on each other, build with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because 20 years from now, your children are going to look back and say, wow, was that my dad? My dad was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't
100.
want them to look back and say, wow, my dad was disrespectful and, the B word and the C word and the F word. You don't want to use that.
Yeah, hip hop has gone to
That's
to
right.
another place than what it was.
That's right. So
at
it's
the
like
beginning.
any tool. It's your choice. You know what I mean? You can't blame the bus. It's the driver.
Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean? You can pick up a hammer and build a house, or you can pick up a hammer and smash someone. It's your choice in life. What tool? How are you using this tool? Are you going to drink and drive, or are you going to drive responsible?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are watching. The kids are smart these days. They're picking up things faster than what we picked up back then.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. Have some of this coffee out here.
Here we go. Ethiopian coffee, watch out.
Pharrell, it's
Cut
the bomb.
the shot. You know what I mean?
You know what I
Respect to
mean?
Ethiopia.
Pharrell. No doubt. That's what's up.
Exactly.
Great
Remember,
coffee, man.
Ethiopia, the ancient land, Kush, Kemet. You know what I
Tastes
mean?
good. It tastes
How's the
good.
coffee taste,
Pharrell.
fellas? You like it?
Real good. Loving it. Loving it. Loving the new glasses too. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
You know, so now here's a question. Now you could think about any MCs that you grew up liking. You know what I mean? Any MCs that you looked up to. Tell me just a couple. It don't got to be a lot, because I know we all got a lot. So give us a couple of international acts that you would like to work with.
I can't believe it. And I'm working with them right now.
Who are you working with right now?
Cool Keith and Percy P. I've been
real?
buying Cool Keith's albums since 1986, Ultramagnetic, Said G Peace.
Yeah.
And Percy P, I've been checking him out since 89. And I can't believe it. You know, it's like, I've been rhyming since 88.
Yeah.
And I've been dreaming about dreams that could never happen. But if you really focus on it, you got to get out the matrix and set your goal. Whatever's around you, you imagined it and you created it.
Yeah.
You want that car, you want that furniture, you want whatever. You are the creator. You have the choice. So a dream came true. I asked the Most High, I would love to work with the characters that started all this.
So hold up. You telling me right now that you've got a project with these brothers?
That's right, yes.
Yeah? Tell us what's going on.
Well, it's kind of like who you know, too, in this game. I was blessed, with my best friend, KD,
Yep.
the CEO of Hip Step Massive.
Yep.
He was friends with Cool Keith and Percy P, so we were just hanging around in the Bronx. He was like, yo, why don't you come down? You could do a little interview, because everyone knew about Flipside TV back in the day.
Yep.
Why don't you come down and interview Cool Keith and Percy P in his studio in the Bronx? And I was like, are you kidding?
Wow.
So anyway, I went down there, interviewed him, and KD, now I already knew Cool Keith for 20 years. I met him before.
Yeah.
And I met Percy P for the first time. And they were like,
Great
yo,
coffee. Pretty
why
good.
don't we, Fela B drops beats, why don't we do a single?
Oh, wow.
And Cool Keith was like, yeah, cool, man, let me check it out. So next thing you know,
So you got them a bunch of beats, or how did it work
yeah,
out?
man, oh, it was beautiful, man. They picked some of my old beats, something I knew. It's all about art.
Yeah, because you got beats. I've been down to your studios, and I've seen a lot of beats.
Yeah. So all you beat producers out there, I know you're making new beats, and don't ignore the beats you made last year.
Yeah.
Music has no time date.
Because there ain't nobody heard it. It's still brand new.
That's right. You can still rap to an old James Brown loop. You know what I mean? And that's
right.
timeless. So don't stop doing what you're doing. Always be productive. But,
So you send them out some beats, and how did that
I
process
sent them
work?
out some beats. They picked some old beats. Of like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, yeah, cool. So
How many beats did you send out?
I send out 100 beats, new and old. Yeah. They picked 4 of my beats that I made in 2004.
Wow.
Analog style, out of the same drum machine through Fruity Loops. Wow. That was just amazing. And I wasn't really into Reasons in that. I just grew up with Fruity Loops. And Fruity Loops kind of overtook Reasons anyway, got more strong and powerful. So yeah, I did that. I wrote my verse, and then we got involved with your brother Dave, respect to Dave and
Yeah, from Uplift and Inspired Studios.
Yeah, we got involved with that, brothers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Done my verses. It's off now. Getting ready to be pressed. We got DJ Ross Swift on the cut. Can't get better than
Smith
that.
on the cut?
Yeah. Next single's gonna be DXT, Herbie Hancock's DJ.
Yep.
D Street. Wow.
So you got some stuff about to drop.
That's
this
right.
year.
Yeah. So we got a lot of projects happening.
Yeah, all
so
y'all better look out for this project he's got coming
that's
out, man.
right. And Get Em Entertainment involved with my first project.
Thank you, sir.
Respect,
Thank
man.
you. Yes.
Strictly vinyl.
100%.
Thank you for that. And just keep on building strong, carrying on tradition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And showing people that there's no negative side to it. You know, there's a positive side to hip hop here. The media are trying to make you see the negative side. You know what I mean? Things are changing now. We didn't have people of color and all backgrounds coming up with their own record labels like the Sudanese community. Respect to them.
Yeah,
You know what I
they're
mean?
putting it down out here for hip hop.
They're coming up with their own labels now. And I
100%.
predicted that in the 80s. You wait, one day people of color are going to start coming up with their labels because it was very hard for colored people of MCing. There was no Denzel Washingtons. There was no black Run DMCs. We haven't got no black Tupacs or black Jay-Z's.
Coming out of Australia.
Yeah, we need that. But the population's growing. It's 26 million people. That's not everyone banging their heads.
But you were doing it from back then.
Yeah, so we carry on
representing
tradition.
Australia.
That's right.
That's
and
what's
keeping
up.
that
You were
positivity
representing.
strong. You know what I mean? Taking away the negativity and bringing more of the art, the dance.
Good vibes.
That's right. The poetry.
Yeah.
The message. It all comes down to what are you saying in your raps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
People are listening.
Who is one of the artists or a couple of artists you like to work out here in Australia with? You know, it could be from Melbourne, it could be from Australia. Who would you like to work out in the hip hop scene out here, whether it's productions or whether putting down your vocals as a rapper? Who would you like to work out here in Australia with?
It's
Or
kinda
have you
hard.
already worked with them? Because I do know there was a dope MC, Mike Justice, that you worked with in the past.
Oh, Mike Justice, he'll always be in the room.
Yes, tell us
Yeah.
some of these
Wow,
artists.
well,
that
Mike
you-
Justice came out with that compilation album.
Okay.
In 2007, I was on that.
Yep.
And yeah, who else? Sam, rest in power, Sam, Chapter
Sam,
1.
Chapter 1, yeah.
Rest in power, brother. I would like to really get back with the MCs I originated with, and I would like to work with new artists that are up and coming,
Yep.
because it's all about the kids now.
Yeah.
We've had our generation.
So you basically saying if they've got bars, they can step up and come to you and you work
That's
with
right.
them.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be anybody big.
That's
they can
right.
be independent. They got bars. You're ready to work with them.
That's right. An
All
18 to 24-year-old MC has got a whole generation in front of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
When I was alive, it was Tupac and Biggie and all that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we were having our time, and back then, Run DMC in the 80s. But now, we got to focus and we got to educate the kids right now.
No doubt.
So they could bring it on into more of a positive and a better culture. Because in America watching all over, you know what I mean? So if America going to see Australia, what are Australia doing? Oh, they're all gangbanging, bitch, and this and that. And that's not, America don't want to see
That's not
it.
hip hop. That's not.
Yeah, they want to see, they want to get influenced too, because they're going through enough.
Yeah.
So they want to see overseas, wow, look what Australia's doing.
Yeah.
They're so positive. You know what I mean?
100%.
I want to go down there and do a show. They don't want to see Australia trying to follow America in wrong footsteps.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So if you're going to do Australia, Australia has to set a good example to the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To say that this is how it always was and this is how it will continue. You know what I mean? Into an art form, a culture.
So, yeah, this is you know, you've done so much out here with hip hop and the culture.
Got drunk with George Clinton,
For real.
ate chicken with George Clinton, and got drunk with George Benson.
Wow.
I'll take that back.
That's big.
Worked with a lot of artists. It's just really mind-blowing. Been sponsored by a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Revolver, Benny Sinclair, Peace and Love.
Yeah.
We were sponsored by Revolver. That's where we interviewed Far Side,
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas, and all
Black
these
Eyed
guys.
Peas,
Yes,
wow.
we interviewed them.
And that was
Company Flow.
what was that channel from? What was the channel called?
This is when they were Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
You know, before that, the female singer.
And what channel were you all?
We were on Channel 31. That was at the same time Rove was doing the speaker box.
What was the channel? What was the show called?
It was an independent,
Hip Step.
it was Flipside TV.
Flipside TV.
Yeah. Host
There you
Mike
go.
Justice and Fela B, producer Mike Matt Talk.
Wow, because I remember watching Flipside TV back in the days.
Yeah,
And I was like, yo, these brothers are really doing it.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
were
I
more than
remember seeing that Black Eyed Peas interview that y'all gave. I think it was outside in Security near Luna Park or something like this, right?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
could
It
be
was
wrong.
around. Yeah, that's right.
That's what's
Yeah.
up, man. So
We were more than a hip hop show. We were a variety show. We had soul food. We had back DJ reviews. We go to the clubs talking to people in the club.
Yeah.
We go backstage talking to the artists. That was cool. You know, we got the free drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All the
great.
good stuff. All the good stuff.
We were having a great life. We had soul food. We had reggae. We had dancehall, house, drum and bass.
So you pretty much touched everything in hip hop, from graffiti to DJing, to running nights, to making your own music, you know, to productions. Now, check this. If there was no music, what would you be doing right now? If there was no hip hop in your life, what would you think you would be doing if there was never music or hip hop?
I'll be designing buildings.
Okay.
I started drafting when I was 17, and I dropped out of high school, and I dropped out of school because of family complications. But I still continue it, and I can still draw houses. And I believe in my past life, I was some type of architect. Mm-hmm. I was part of drawing. Maybe I helped drew the Finks. Who knows? But I was someone back in those days. I believe in reincarnation.
So you think, you know, it could have been anything if it wasn't
So
hip-hop?
yes, if not, I would continue my drawings as an artist.
So as an artist, you know, you big with the drawings and
yeah, because
so
I
you think
started
you'd be
off
down that
as
lane?
I started at graffiti. You
So
know,
you'd
I
probably
really-
be down
yeah.
that lane right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you didn't end up to being nothing else but the person you are in hip hop
Yeah,
right now.
that's right. Well,
what I mean?
I stopped the writing because I was getting locked up too many times. I was getting busted.
Yep.
You can't do that shit now. You can't just go to Richmond Station and jump a fence and start graffitiing on a
Stop
train.
bombing them trains.
Yeah, that's like a
Things have changed.
$300,000 fine and 6 years jail. You know what I mean? So
Things have changed.
yeah, I was getting too much trouble there. So I started into the MCing, the DJing,
Yeah.
and the breakdancing. I stopped. You know what I mean? I started breakdancing, but as I started getting more independent as a teenager, running away from home, racking paint.
As kids do. As
Yeah,
kids
that's
do,
right.
you know?
So I got more independent. That was graffitiing. After graffitiing, I moved to Endeavour Hills and got more into the MC side. And me, FMC, Fresh Mess Crew, Dyer, Escapone, started hanging out with them and continuing the MCing. Then I moved back to Paran and we started Flipside TV, and I met up with all you guys.
So when you were down in Endeavour Hills growing up as a youth, you wasn't called Fela B back then. What were you called back then?
I was Fela B.
Fela B?
I was Flexi D.
Flexi D, because that's the name that I keep hearing
Yeah.
from back in the days.
That's right.
So Flexi D.
Flexi
okay.
D 52. 52 was our house numbers. We went by our house numbers. That was the code.
And Flexi D stands for?
Flexible.
Locking and popping, putting
That's
it down.
right. And D for devastating.
Any shout out to your people out here in Australia or in America or worldwide?
Yeah, well, shout out to DJ Breeze, DJ Chrissy,
Yep.
DJ C, XL. Shout out to Mike Justice, you know, Beans, Dave, Gus, came behind the movement, Pablo.
Yep.
Shout out to most, you know, Fresh Mess Crew, Hills Posse. Shout out to 3174, all the pioneers, Johnny Dool. And a big shout out to the Almighty Hebrew and the Killer Priest Podcraft Show. Check it out. AD, KP, rock on. Wayne Fernandez.
Yep. Any MCs you worked with out here? Any shout outs for them?
Yeah, all
MCs that you collab with out here?
Yeah, well, that's My Justice.
Yep.
Gemstone.
There you go.
Size. And Beans.
Yep.
Word. And you. And
Thank you, sir.
you know, always kept. See, my family's kept strong. And see, we've always kept a tight family. We never let go. We've always kept that strong. We've all been close for over 20 years now.
I hear you. Everybody's been doing their own things, different lanes.
Yeah, but
at the
still
end of the day,
hanging
we're all
out.
a part of the industry.
Yeah,
the music
yeah.
industry. I feel you.
Yeah.
The whole hip hop culture.
Shout out to my Rastas.
No doubt.
Shout out to
Ross Christian.
Ross Christian. That's right.
Man, Ross Christian. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard him on your
get ready
album.
for Ross Christian right there.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. You know what I mean? That's what's up. And any shout outs for the US?
Yes, shout out to the Hipstep Master Crew. Shout out to the Zulu Nation. Shout out to Jimmy Jazz Jones, the Cold Crush Brothers, Fantastic Five. Shout out to Cokeler Rock, Cool Herc, all the people. Melly Mel, Tiki Valley. You know, I could be all day. Percy P, AG, Cool Keith.
Real talk. We
You
can be
know
on
what I mean?
all day.
Sammy B, Jungle Brothers, you know what I mean?
doubt.
Cosmo D. Man, the list goes on. The list goes on and on. Shout out to all the brothers in the States that have helped the pioneers in Australia to uplift and make this into an independent, strong movement down here. Because this is what we need. It's very neglected. It's very underground still here. You know what I mean? It's, you know, you're going to get more of a commercial rapper than people that are doing right here. Shout out to this whole
People
TV
behind the
show,
camera
man.
there.
Come on,
Shout out to them.
respect,
That's what's
respect,
up.
man. This
Yeah,
is the
they're
real
doing a
movement
great
right
job.
here. The
real.
real movement are the people behind the camera.
Yep. People behind the scenes.
Hats off to them.
100%. That's what's
You know
up.
what I mean?
That's
Because
what's up.
the next generation who are studying hip hop, I've had a lot of cats out to me. Shout out to them, pioneers that came out to me that were big in the 80s. You see them doing interviews and they're treated like gold and they were the first, but they're not mentioning the people before them.
Yeah.
The Flexi D's from Future 4. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So
That's what's
shout
up.
out to these brothers that are keeping that strong.
Yeah.
They're getting into the Melly Mel's, the Cool Hercs of Australia, the Clo Rocks. Thank you for getting into those people right there.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
right
an
about it.
interview
Because
right
people
now.
behind the camera, if it wasn't for them,
That's right.
this wouldn't
You
be
know what I mean?
possible.
Exactly.
100.
I could be like, yo, shout out to Molly Meldrum, who was the first cat that really started, you know, interviewing the first rappers, Michael Jackson and all these people like Molly Meldrum in Australia.
Yeah.
In the ABC channel, we went to Rip and Lee back in the day when we were young. It was Molly Meldrum we used to look up to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know, but no one's talking about him.
Well, that's why we got you right
You
here.
know what I mean? And
That's
why
why
is
we
that?
got
We
you
got
right
all
here.
these brand new hosts, this and that. But where does it come at? Everything has its roots. Give knowledge. It's like we respect our elders. Do the same in hip hop. You know, you love beatboxing, but who was the first beatboxer? Or you love to scratch? Who was the first DJ?
Get to know your knowledge
That's
about
right.
the culture.
I mean, they're doing that with the Rolling Stones.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. That's what's up. Man, I am really privileged, man, to interview you today, man.
Not a
You know what
problem,
I mean?
man.
It's really been a
Honor,
pleasure,
man.
brother. It
Respect.
really has been a
Hotep,
pleasure.
King.
No doubt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love this interview.
Peace to the queens of the earth.
100. And before we get out of here, just let the people know some of your links and where we can find you. Where can we find your music? You know, and the people that want to follow you, just let us know where can we find you on the internet, on social media.
I'm Fela B on YouTube.
Yep.
And you can go to 36 Live, Apple Store, Grand Groove Unlimited Radio.
Yep.
36 Live, Apple Store,
Yep.
or Sony, Grand Groove Unlimited Radio. You can check me out New York time,
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Okay, so that's your radio.
Yes.
And yeah, you got the project coming out. When can
Saturday.
we expect this project about to drop with Cool Keith and stuff? When is that going to drop?
That'll be within the next month. That's already on the go. We're just waiting for the artwork for the album cover.
So it's coming. It's going to be
Yeah,
dropping
that's right.
this year.
Yes, that's
That's
right.
what's
yeah,
up, man.
But
You know-
everything's done really. We're just waiting for the artwork because I'm strictly vinyl, and you know it's all about popular demand. They're still making brand new turntables, 1,200 techniques. So that's showing you that it's still in demand. People are still buying records, and people still have old records to play. So I'm strictly vinyl, and this will be pressed on vinyl.
Yes. So we've had a great show, guys. It's your host, the most RaQuest. This is USourceMedia. I'm RaQuest from Get Em Entertainment. Our host has been Fela B. We've had a great time. Please follow, subscribe, and all of the other beautiful stuff. Be safe. Peace.
Peace. Shalom.